Hi, everyone. I'm Lauren Bandy, and I am the coordinator for ISAR 2022. Now, those of you who've been part of the astrological community and who go to conferences know that ISAR was canceled in 2020 and it was postponed in 2021. So here we are in 2022, and we are a freight train moving down the road or the tracks, and the conference is going to happen. So we are excited. It's August 25th through the 29th. You can find all the information you will ever need on isar2022.org. We've got the schedule. We've got 100 speakers. It's happening at the Westin Westminster, which is right between Denver and Boulder in Colorado. Got the gorgeous view of the Rockies. It's going to be lovely weather in August. We've got a lot of fun events planned, along with just a whole load of incredible speakers and talent and lectures. And one of those folks is with me today, my colleague, Ryhan Butler. Thank you, Ryhan, for taking the time to be with me today.
Yeah, happy to be here. Thank you so much.
Tell me something. Well, first, before I ask that question, those of you who may not know who Ryhan is and have not been in the conference circuit of doing conferences where Ryhan has lectured. I know, Ryhan, you teach. He's a professional astrologer based in the Dallas area who has studied classical astrology techniques since 2009. He works to spread the techniques of medieval astrology to those who would otherwise not encounter them or may not immediately see their value. He is currently teaching as a professor of classical medical astrology at the International Academy of Astrology, that's IAA, and served on the board of the Association for Astrological Networking, which is AFAN, from 2014 to 2018. So there is some information on Ryhan, and you can go, as I said, to isar.org, isar2022.org, and look at the schedule and see Ryan's information. But we're going to talk about your lectures today. But before we get to that, I do have a question for you, and that is, how are you feeling about coming back to the in-person experience?
Oh, I mean, definitely looking forward to it. It's been, like you said, 2019-ish since there was anywhere an in-person conference. And so, yeah, definitely looking forward to being able to have that option to come back and reconnect with everybody physically after having a screen and webcam separate us for so long.
Yeah, there's such a weird feeling I have because it's been 2 years that it almost seems as if this is the way it is. And yet now we're coming back in person. And there's kind of a feeling of like the first day of school kind of thing.
Yeah, I can see that. It's kind of this weird, because it's almost like no time has passed, but it's also like all the time has passed at the same time.
Yes, that's exactly right. And that's that feeling of summer break or something. And it feels like it's been just yesterday that you left for summer break, and yet the summer was glorious and long, and now you're coming back to school, right?
Yeah.
And of course, there's a whole lot more to this. We've been separated for, in my opinion, a good reason, right?
Totally.
Right. So, to keep people safe and to follow the guidelines that have been put forward. And some people may agree with those and some people may not, and that's okay. So, but overall, the whole point is to keep people safe, and that's certainly our intention with ISAR and the other conferences that have been happening or will happen this year. So you're lecturing on Friday.
The first day, right?
You are lecturing on the first day on Friday. In fact, both of your lectures, of course, are on the health and wellness track, which is obvious, which is very obvious. And so on Friday at 2 p.m. Mountain Daylight Time, you'll be lecturing on Crisis Alert, the Moon, Illness, and the Critical Days. So tell us about that. What is it? What is that? What do you mean by that?
Yeah, so the Critical Days are a astrological technique that were developed to help astrologers better understand and predict the development of illness, essentially, sort of before it happens, to be able to better, augment their treatment schedule to prepare for, flare-ups, essentially, of acute illnesses.
Okay. So you'll be teaching technique on that?
Yes, history and technique on that, because it's got kind of a fun story about how it developed and how we kind of have taken it today.
Tell me this, would somebody who's interested in studying medical astrology, would this be something they could just never have any knowledge of medical astrology and walk in the door and grok what you're saying?
Yes and no. I think there is a certain level at which it's immediately applicable to somebody who has just like basic understandings of astrological principles. And then there's, of course, the higher level technique, or maybe not technique, but higher level layer of it, to where understanding more, having that background in it helps you get more detailed information rather than just like good, bad, but also like, in what way? What should I expect? How far should I plan to be from my bathroom on this day? Kind of a thing. It happens. We've all been there.
My heart breaks for those with those kinds of conditions, because yeah. All right, so let's talk about your second one on Saturday. First thing in the morning, 9
I know, thanks.
Sure, I know. Everybody loves that spot.
Everybody's going to be bright-eyed and bushy-tailed after their first day back with everybody in person.
Well, at least it's not Sunday morning at 9 a.m.
Yeah. Is everybody still doing the party on Saturday night?
Yeah, that's going to be interesting. All right, so you're doing something called Smoke and Spirits.
Yes.
So, whoa, what is that?
Yeah, so another method of utilizing, astrology with health is sort of going back to like the very beginning of people managing health, and that's through the utilization of a magical practice to help ward off or improve one's health. Because at the very end of the day, prayer has been a major tool for combating health since the dawn of time. And so it's really nice to be able to talk about and bring back up sort of astrology's own tradition of that, or like part in those traditions in other cultures.
So you'll be looking at the history of that, and then potentially how in some way to modernize those more ancient practices. Is that what?
Yeah. My goal for that is to give people the tools that they need to be able to leave that lecture and be able to, make their own astrological health talisman to kind of fortify their own constitutions or help to address whatever they see their primary health challenge being. So yeah, I hope that that's one that's very, not like hands-on, but, very actionable for people as they see it.
I like that, but my Capricorn Earth side of it.
She said, actionable, I'm there. Are there lists? Tell me there are lists.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. So everyone, ISAR, ISAR 2022.org is where you can find all the information, where you can register for the conference. It is August 25th through the 29th. That is this year. That is just months down the road. And there's plenty of room at the hotel. So get your hotel reservations made, because that will sell out. So you want to make sure you get that. And everybody, come and support our speakers. There's a well-developed medical and health topic track. It's very popular. Those rooms will likely be some of the ones that will fill up, because it's a very popular topic these days. It has been for probably the last probably 3 or 4 years.
I wonder why.
I don't know, but I've noticed it in doing my other work. And so I've noticed that there's been a lot of excitement, a lot of energy, a lot of intention, a lot of people wanting to know more about it. So this is a well-developed topic track that ISAR has. So those of you who are interested in learning more overall on medical astrology, wellness, and health, ISAR is a good place for you to go. All right. So thank you, Ryan, very much for taking your time to be with me today and to explain a little bit about you and your lectures.
Of course, happy to do it.
All right, we'll see you there in August.
Yes, can't wait.